Good 4th of July Eve, everybody. So this video is obviously a little different because you're seeing my face, and I have to give all the credit to Crafty Maggie, actually, because I woke up early this morning and I saw her face because she also had a busy life this week, and I think her goal is to do a video every day, a crafting video every day. And she said, you know what, sometimes life happens and I couldn't get it done. So I was like, you know what, I can do a video like this, because today is the day I had said during my layout share for June. Today's the first Friday of July, so I wanted to start a new series, my Product Focus Fridays. And so I work in a medical job where I wear an N95 for at least 5 hours a day with rarely a break, and to be honest. So by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. If I don't get up early to scrapbook and film, it usually doesn't get done. So Crafty Maggie gave me, watching her video, which if go check out her channel, I'll link it below. She gave me the courage to do this. And then honestly, I was thinking, you know what? There's a lot of Fridays in July. What's one? And the first one, to introduce my new series, why not do the first one face to face, right? We're introducing a new series. So I've had a hard time also starting series on my page. I was on the design team for Paper Issues, so I was very busy with that. So now I decided, this month I am doing Off the Board with Pineapple Papers twice a week. So Wednesdays and Sundays, you'll see videos from that. And then I'm going to start this series for every Friday. It's Product Focus Friday. And this whole week, when I hadn't got to record, hadn't got to make a video, I kept thinking, what could I do to challenge myself with this? Instead of just, I took my giant, I have this lovely notepad where these are all like projects or albums or pages that need to get done. The list is actually not completely written. It needs to be finished, but I had that, and so I started writing down all the designers that I know I had big amounts of, and then I started looking through my stash and finding all these little old kits that I have other designers, some that don't even exist anymore. So I wrote them all down, right? And then I broke all my supplies up into basic categories. I broke them up to paper, embellishments, stamps, mixed media, and knickknacks. Now, as we go into those categories, I will explain more what I have in them, and then if you have suggestions of things to add to those lists, that'd be fantastic. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, all right, so what do I choose first? I don't know what to choose first. And I thought, how fun would it be to just draw it out of a bucket and make it a challenge for myself to use only that designer or one or two, depending on, so that's the other thing that's kind of a variable with this. Some of them I have the tiniest amount of supplies on. So depending on which ones I draw out, I might have to draw a second one and use two that month. Depending on what type of tool or supply I draw, I might have to pick one or two, or we might use the same one a couple times in a row. But anyway, so I thought what would be fun is on camera, I'm introducing this new series to you guys, and I figured I would draw the collection or designer that we're going to use for this month, and that's the only collection or designer I'm going to focus on for those Friday videos. I'm going to use other stuff, but I thought that would be fun because then it's kind of in the hat. Is it going to be something new? Is it going to be something old? Is it going to be a designer or collection that doesn't even exist anymore? So that means it's a really old stash item, because I have some kits from 2011, so I have some older stuff. And then we'll pick the category, and then in that category we'll pick what the order of the month of the items we're going to use, and then I'll post them all in this video in the description, so that if you want to play along, you can, and if you want to try and challenge yourself and focus on those items for those pages, you can. And also, depending on the item, I might need to beef it up with something else. For example, like I put Pretty Little Studio in there. I don't have a lot for Pretty Little Studio. I literally have scraps left of the Color Me Happy collection. So if I pick Pretty Little Studio and then for some reason I pick paper and we do 6x8 pads, that's not going to work because I don't have Pretty Little Studio left. But I could always use a 6x8 pad. I have like scrap ones, and we could always use the 6x8 pads with the Pretty Little Studio and yeah, make that work. But anyway, and you're not limited to only those things. I'm telling myself I'm not limited, but I just want to focus on those things for those layouts. So that's the goal. I also have things in certain categories that are very specific to me. You might not have them. For example, in my mixed media category, I have Shimmer's color kits. I bought them around Christmas time. She released them and they're amazing, and I have a few of them. So if we pick color kits, that might actually be the only mixed media we do that month because I have 4 of them. So if there are 4 Fridays, I'm going to challenge myself to use a color kit every Friday. So this honestly could drag out a really long time, and I really apologize if you guys don't like that, but at least every week is going to be different. I could also draw color kits, pick one, and put it back in the box so that the next time I pick it out, let's do that. Maybe I'll do that. So if there's something that has multiple that I want to use it more than one time, I'll put it back in the drawing. So we'll just draw for what next week's going to be. And then next week I'll draw for the next week what, but the collection or designer will be the whole month. And the category will be the whole month, but the item in the category will change. Does that make sense? Am I just babbling, making no sense to you guys at all? Maybe it'll make more sense if I just get going. So have a sip of coffee because that might help. Okay, so let's pick the designer collection. I also am reserving the right to add people to the basket as I separate out my kits. So I was trying to figure out what I all had, and I was realizing that none of them are organized by any sort of way. So I'm going to separate all my old scrapbook kits out, at least by designer, so I know how many of each thing I have. But I mean, I have scrapbook kits, so right away, I probably can get 3 layouts out of those. So, I mean, I should be able to use 1 kit if it's that designer I only have 1. So, all right, we're going to pick the designer focus or collection focus that we have for this month. And I have them all in here. See, there's quite a few. And I have another one written down that like Kaisercraft. I think I have stuff from them. I know I used to. I don't know if I still do. So if I find I have some stuff from them, I'll put them in there. It's a challenge. I'm just trying to make myself use my stuff and just focus on a certain thing or item each week and each month. And I just remembered I have fringe scissors. I gotta add that to my tools. Sorry. See, like even that. I was like, do I have any other tools up there? No, I don't think so. Okay, so the collection or designer we're going to use this month is Vicki Boutin. So I have a decent amount of Vicki Boutin. So we're going to play with Vicki Boutin this month, and I'm throwing this away. Ooh, that's really bright. I'm sorry. The light is like... there. Oh, it's backwards. I'm sorry. I didn't do that. Right. Vicki Boutin. So we're going to play with Vicki Boutin today, or this month. All right. So let me get all those. I'm going to put Kaisercraft in there, and then it'll be one of those things. If I find it, I'm just going to put it in. And if we draw it and I end up not having it, we'll just put it back. But you guys, I have a kit from Gossamer Blue. Just saying. Like, that's old. Which I don't think I wrote down, so I gotta do that yet. All right, so we're doing Vicki Boutin this month, which is fun. I haven't actually played with my Vicki Boutin stuff in a while, so that sounds good to me. Uh-oh, the kid's up already. It's too early. Too early. Okay, so we're playing with Vicki Boutin, and now we're going to throw the category in. And what category are we going to start with on this long series I'm doing, eh? We are going to start with tools. Interesting. All right. So, very interesting. Okay. Hold on. All right, so let's get all the tools over here. Organized. Just trying to stay organized. Vicki Boutin and tools. So the first tool that we're gonna play with will be next week. And it's going to be punches. That's fun. Okay, so next week you will get a video featuring Vicki Boutin and punches. So that is gonna be, see, that's fun. This is fun. So now I have to challenge myself to use my punches and just break out my Vicki Boutin collection. So hopefully I can make a dent in it this month, which is really awesome. So then, and typically what happens is once I'm inspired to start using it, I will use it for other things too. So you might see other videos with Vicki Boutin in it. That doesn't mean I can't do that. But yeah, so Vicki Boutin and punches we're gonna use. Other things that are in my tools section are things like, I have those old school fancy like design scissors. I have my silhouette sketch pens, just all sorts of things. So we'll do Vicki Boutin this month, and I guess thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe and get the bell on if you want to get notification when I do post my new videos. And yeah, thanks again. See you next week. Bye.